Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, where we celebrate individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Lynnee Jacks is our guest today. Lynnee is the Industry Communications Coordinator for the Oregon Coast Visitors Association. She is responsible for communicating all that the organization and their coastal tourism partners do to make the Oregon coast an even better place to live and visit. Lynnee, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you, Howard. It's great to be here.
Fantastic. I have to share, I think the Oregon coast, I've seen so many photos of it, and it reminds me of this exotic land that I have yet to visit and want to visit so badly. I'm getting closer. I'm in Las Vegas right now. And this coastline is it's magnificent. And how do you put up with all that magnificence?
Oh my goodness. It really, in my opinion, it is the most beautiful place in the country. And there's just so much diversity here too. I think that's what adds to the magic of it as well. We have these really rugged, dramatic vistas and dunes and sandy beaches. It's just, I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. It's incredible.
Excellent. Now, did you grow up along the coast, or did you find yourself here after going to school?
So I actually grew up in California, but I grew up visiting the Oregon coast, seaside specifically, because my grandma grew up here. So we visited every year as kids.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't actually until I went abroad and studied tourism in Iceland that I actually ended up connecting the dots and coming back to the coast to kind of carry out that study and work into a career. So it's been a very cool full circle return to the coast for me.
Very nice. And one thing I have learned from the many destination marketing organizations, convention visitor bureaus that I've worked with is folks who are in their positions, could be the executive director, could be the communication coordinator. They love their work and couldn't imagine doing anything else. And so it sounds like you've got the perfect job. And in some ways you get to come home in a way because this is where your grandmother was. How long have you been a part of the Oregon Coast Visitors Association?
I'm going on just over a year now. Yeah, I moved back to the States from Iceland about a year and a half ago. And I had graduated with a degree in regional development, specifically for coastal areas.
Mhm.
So it really couldn't have been a more perfect fit for this job. And the job opened up, and I got to move to this area where I had visited as a kid. And so, yeah, about a year and a half, and have been loving it.
Okay, very nice. Now, how long has the Oregon Coast Visitors Association, and I know you use the acronym, the OCVA. I may have to do that because it's a mouthful. How long has this organization been around?
So we've been a destination management organization in some form for about 28 years,
Mm,
which is a long time to see all the ways the region has changed and how tourism has evolved. So, yeah.
okay. Now, the word association kind of means there's a bunch of partners here, and we used the word tourism partners a few minutes ago. How many partners make up the Tourism Association?
So we're called the Oregon Coast Visitors Association, and that's actually a term that just describes our organization and our staff. But our staff is constantly working with countless partners all up and down the coast. We have smaller destination management organizations that manage specific destinations along the coast, for like example, Cannon Beach or more of the South Coast. So we work really closely with them, as well as some of our local government and also all of the businesses and lodging and restaurant partners that are really the face to face interaction with our visitors.
Okay. And how do you think the Visitors Association, I do realize it's not lost, and I was saying Tourism Association. How long in the, how has the organization evolved, say, over the years? Because I mean, the history and the culture, I mean, it's very unique. And I imagine people's needs, wants, desires change over time. And you've only been in the job a short time yourself, but what have you learned about how the association has changed to meet the needs of how people want to experience nature?
Yeah, great question. Well, I know that over time, we've really realized how important it is to listen to all the voices of the locals that live here, who work here, and um, so over time, we've really focused on building out this network of partners and people who can give feedback to their specific neighborhoods, regions, and industries because there's so many moving parts to the economy of the coast. We have fishing and tourism and all these other things that layer on top of each other. So it's been so important to just create a big network over time and listen to everyone's feedback. We do a lot of surveying, and we build a lot of our strategies based on what we're hearing our partners and all of the locals say about how they feel
Mhm.
about visitors because it's changed so much over the last few years. People know that a lot of the businesses and the economy relies on it, but we also know that there are a lot of negative impacts of increased visitation. So
Mhm.
it's a lot of listening and balancing all of that feedback with potential solutions. So a lot of back and forth of planning and networking, just trying to come up with solutions that work the best for everybody so that this destination can be a sustainable place for people to live and visit for years to come.
Okay. What are some of and I'm going to use in quotes, traditional adventures, hiking, biking, fishing, uh, that will draw people into the coast, as well as some of the perhaps new or non-traditional adventures? What is drawing the folks, the visitors to the coast besides the wonderful view, by the way? And your view is actually it's better than mine. I like yours better than mine. But
Yeah, you got yours going too. That's cool. Yeah. So, well, traditionally, I mean, we know that people come to the coast for the views and for the ocean. And a lot of people are coming really for that rejuvenation and relaxation aspect of the coast. But we're also known for our adventures. We get a lot of people that come out here because they want to, there's a lot of surfing and paddling. Another big one traditionally was the people that would bike down 101.
mhm,
So these are kind of the traditional things that adventurers might associate with the coast. But as you mentioned, that's kind of expanding now, and we have a lot of opportunity to diversify the types of recreational opportunities that we have. So hiking, of course, is always going to be a classic and a big one, and there's been a lot of work to fully realize the vision of the Oregon Coast Trail, which is a trail that would go all the way from north to south. And we have a lot of people that come to do that every year, and I imagine that once it's fully completed, that will be an even bigger draw. And then like with cycling as well, we're our infrastructure is exploding for not just road cycling, but for mountain bike trails and gravel trails, which
mhm.
are it's kind of like a hybrid between mountain biking and road biking, but they can go up into the logging roads. Really just like go for real adventure riding out there for 50, 60 miles and just putting together really adventurous routes. So,
Okay, okay.
which, oh,
Yeah, so I'm curious, what is your favorite way to take advantage of the coast, and what's your preferred way to in your adventure?
Personally, my preferred adventures are surfing and cycling. Surfing is the tried and true. Like when I live this close to the ocean, I have my spot and I try and get out every, once a week or so. But cycling is another one that I didn't quite expect to be such a big part of my life. But because I discovered it when I was living in Iceland, I actually started gravel cycling when I came here as well. And it was very cool to see how my organization was really involved in kind of the beginning of realizing all of these gravel routes here
Mhm.
on the coast. We even have like a gravel guidebook now, which is cool.
Is the guidebook available up on the website?
It is available in our store, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go to it because I would love for you to gift us with your a tour of the website in a minute because I'm curious about the gravel riding and because I used to do 60-mile bike rides back in Chicago on flat, the gravel on the side of the road, but I know you're talking about something a little bit different. I did see that uh, disc golf has made its way up to the Oregon coast area.
Yes, it has. Um,
Okay.
so we've been putting some of our resources into expanding disc golf and marketing it. There's a pretty cool event that happened, I think, last October down on the
Mhm.
South Coast that brought out a lot of disc golf fans. I think we have something like 17 disc golf courses
Oh, wow.
all over the coast now, where I'm sure is growing. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that that's a really cool added adventure out here.
Very good. Now, speaking of the coast, because I know somebody is going to be interested in this, I know I am. How long of coastline are we talking about from is it the California border up to how far?
Yeah, California up to the Washington border is 363 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, d that's the number we've got listed on our website, our
Okay.
365 miles of publicly available coast.
I love that. I have got to make a trip up there. I'm so close. Uh, you said something a couple of minutes ago that I'm interested in. You used the word rejuvenation and relaxation, and an area that I have been interested in for the outdoor space is this connection between mental health and being in nature. And what are some of the ways that folks are coming up to the coast and, you know, whether it's for their mental health and because I just need to have their feet in the water on the beach, walking a trail. But what is being done or how is it being used for these rejuvenation, wellness, kind of mindfulness kind of activities?
Yeah, great question. I think, like you were saying, a lot of people come out here for that connection with nature aspect. I see a lot more people these days that are really just like slowly hiking and really like getting down and looking close at all of the different really unique plant life, looking like mushroom hunting and things like that. People just kind of like taking a slower approach to travel. And I think that that's something that our tourism partners and businesses have been able to kind of capitalize on a little bit. I think that as tourism expands here, we're as a region really just realizing how important this mental health and relaxation aspect is to our tourism specifically. So there are hotels that are kind of like focused on this relaxation atmosphere. There are always higher end opportunities where you can like go to do a spa day. But I think that everybody also knows that you don't really need to do that because the coast itself is just like a place of renewal,
Mhm.
just your feet in the water. And so I think that that is probably the biggest draw that kind of keeps our numbers of visitors climbing is that people just are getting more excited about that
Mhm.
time in nature.
Excellent. I would love to have my cup of coffee in the morning, have to be a big thermos, my chair, and my feet just on the water's edge on the beach. And I think I'd be a very happy camper just doing that.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the rejuvenation and relaxation, and again, I'm looking at your photo, your background, my photo, my background, and I'm thinking about access as well because the coast, I mean, it's not flat, obviously. How has the association worked with their local partners to incorporate accessibility initiatives to make folks who maybe have a physical disability, maybe they're a little bit older, maybe can't handle as much of the exertion, but what have been some of the initiatives that the association has been helping their partners put into place?
We have been doing so much work around accessibility or travelability as we've kind of been calling it. as we talked about earlier, we call ourselves the People's Coast, and that goes back to that 365 miles of public coastline being open for everyone. And when we say everyone, we mean everyone. We want people of all ages and abilities to feel like they can get out here and will have something to do out here. We want everyone to be able to get onto the beach, see the sand, be close to the waves. So some of the initiatives that we've been working on are things like beach mobility aids. We have Mobi-mats that have been rolled out on a lot of beaches across all up and down the coast. And these are temporary pathways that allow people with like wheelchairs or just people that like need to walk on more of a simple, straightforward surface.
Hmm.
So it's great for anyone who has a mobility device or even just elderly people or families that are pushing strollers.
Hmm.
Allows them to get all the way out to the edge of the beach. And a lot of these beaches also now have David chairs, which are big track motorized wheelchairs that actually allow people to get up and over sand dunes, which is just so cool.
Well, very nice. Very nice. As individuals, families are coming to the Oregon coast to experience everything that you have to offer, what are some of the perhaps alternative types of tourism to get people involved in helping to protect the resource? What are some of those initiatives that's taking place?
Mm. Well, there are always opportunities for if there are people that are aware of their impact and want to travel sustainably. We offer a lot of ways for people to think about that and get involved. We have a carbon calculator on our website. First of all, it's a great stop for people to just kind of see what the carbon impact of their trip might be. But then we also have a list of a lot of our partner organizations, like nonprofits, where people might schedule an entire trip around coming to do a trail build
Mhm.
or a beach cleanup. We also have citizen science types of programs,
Oh,
like
sure.
during winter, we get these king tides, which are the biggest tides of the year, where the swells are really big. And we encourage people to take photos and upload them to Oregon King Tides, and that's a really big collection of science data that is used for the future of this place. So those are just a
Excellent.
few of those. Yeah.
Excellent. Speaking of the multiple ways to get involved in the community and the volunteering citizen science, oh, what's been the impact overall, or not overall? That's perhaps too direct, but how are the residents feeling about the work that's going into making this coast, this wonderful coast, so much more accessible and having a great experience, but also not ruining in their mindset, this is my home. I don't want to see it spoiled. So I imagine there has to be a delicate balance there.
Absolutely, yes. In our resident feedback work, we learn a lot that for the most part, people recognize that whatever goes into tourism ultimately will benefit the locals. When we are able to get a Mobi-mat out, locals get to use that more
Mhm.
than the visitors, really. And when we market tourism, more businesses pop up, there are more restaurants. So people know that and really embrace the increasing visitors. But we also know that in certain areas, that balance is important, especially in the summer, because here on the North Coast, being so close to Portland, we get a lot of visitor traffic in the summer, and that means a lot of traffic, a lot more incidents around trash buildup, incidents with wildlife. So we do really have to be careful about managing that because that does become a burden on the locals, and
Mhm.
we are aware of that as a destination management organization. So a lot of our investment kind of goes into looking at how we can mitigate those impacts.
Mhm.
How we're thinking about how can we drive more of that traffic down to the central coast and the south coast because it's a really big coast. There's a lot of
Mhm.
places to see.
Mhm.
And also encouraging shoulder season traffic to kind of spread out that impactful time is why
Gotcha. Okay. One more quick question, and I'm curious, as an industry, I mean, the travel industry is hugely important across the country, especially as older industries are changing. You know, what could be manufacturing, could be oil and gas, energy. You're by the water. I'm thinking fish. Uh, and I think it was either in your show notes or on the website. I was reading that fishing is a huge industry along the coast, but you guys only enjoy a fraction of what is caught. And how do you,
yeah.
what's the outcome of that?
Yeah, exactly right. So we are a fishing economy, and 90% of the catch that's caught here gets exported, which means that most of the seafood that our visitors are eating is imported from elsewhere, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So so this is something that we feel is kind of a role of our organization. We are conveners. We have this really big network of partners. So this is a big project area for us. We really want to invest in keeping more of our seafood local, keeping it in our little local food web, making it easier for locals and visitors to get their seafood directly from the small, like family owned fisheries. So yes, we have a sort of a sister organization that we run, the Oregon Ocean Cluster Initiative. And
Hmm.
that's where all of that work is housed. And it's really exciting to kind of see the opportunities for connecting all the dots and making our food industry specifically more sustainable for future
Okay.
tourism.
Okay. Do you eat fish?
I eat a lot of fish, yeah.
What is your preferred fish dish or type of fish?
So I eat so much smoked salmon. I have a there is a smokehouse across the street,
Oh
and
my!
I get my weekly smoked salmon, and I put it on my toast every morning. Yeah, it's
I
luxury.
I'll tell you what. You invite me up to. I'll do podcasting up and down the coast for you. I will bring the bagels.
Okay.
I will bring the bagels. Oh my god, you've now I know I have to come for a visit. Oh my god, I love smoked salmon. Cannot get enough of it. Would you indulge us for a little bit to take us on a tour of the website?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you. The miracle of technology, and let's see. You are somewhere. Dum. Let's just do that. Okay, so you should be. Are you seeing the website?
Not yet.
Okay. I was there a minute ago, so let's do that again. Let's go ahead and stop sharing. Okay, we'll edit this little bit out. Oh, well, there we go. How about now?
Yep.
Excellent. I love it when technology works. That's the beauty of coming up to Oregon and just kind of, you know, rejuvenation, relaxation. It's turning off all of the electronics and just, being one with nature. Wish I was that little guy there making snow angels in the sand. That looks like really good sand too. So,
Warm.
take us on a tour.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can the homepage really hits everything. So if we just want to
Okay.
scroll down and talk a little
Okay.
bit.
So your little brother and sister getting along with each other. My sister and I
Same.
did not get along, but that's okay. But oh, you want to win? I love this. I saw this pop up. Want to win something cool? That's pretty good. So give feedback.
Yeah, we can do
Love
that. And
that.
then that will enter, into look at our store.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so we got our 365 miles of possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Then we kind of go down into we really want to direct people right to being able to find activities
Mm-hmm.
and connecting them with the local guides and outfitters that operate cool tours and adventures. So that's a tool that will let people find stuff that fits within their idea of adventure or relaxation, depending on what they're looking for.
Okay. Now, is there much competition here between the North, Central, and South Coast, or are they just all get everybody gets along, kumbaya?
Yeah, you scroll down a little bit more, it'll give you a little breakdown of those regions.
Okay. So you got a little video here.
Yeah, the video is a cool highlight of some fun projects that are happening on the South Coast.
Okay. So, folks, when you come visit the website, make sure you click on the play this button.
Mm.
Okay. So here, dark sky. So when I moved to Vegas from Chicago, one of the first things I wanted to do was to get out to the desert, which I have done numerous times, sleep under the stars while I car camp, but then take pictures of the Milky Way. And it's like, I can imagine it's got to be gorgeous out there. So
Oh,
very
it's
cool.
so pretty, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of famous Milky Way shots over the Cannon Beach stack. I'm sure when people think of the Oregon coast, that Cannon Beach rock is one of the first images that comes to mind. So,
Very, very nice.
so
Okay.
yeah, so these are our three regions, and I mean the coast is it's really big. I think when people think about the West Coast, there's a tendency to just kind of see California as this monolith. There's Highway 101 of Highway
Yeah.
1.
Yes.
But driving the Oregon coast actually takes like 7 to 10 hours and all on its own. So these are very different regions
Okay.
with very different kinds of communities and nature.
Okay.
We've
So I have
got
to ask my roommate because she and her boyfriend want to move to Oregon. They want to open up an RV park for seniors. And I know somewhere over the border here, Gold Beach, Brookings Harbor, I know it's somewhere in that area they want to go. Okay.
oh yeah, that would be really cool. That would do well.
Okay. Excellent. So we got hiking, ATVing, kayaking. Now, do you like kayaking?
I do kayak a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. Now we get to explore the towns.
Yeah.
I know Tillamook. That's my favorite cheese. All right.
Oh, everyone's favorite cheese.
So now see now we've got smoked salmon and Tillamook. So I'm like Tillamook. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
I live pretty close to Tillamook, actually. So yeah,
All
great.
right.
Yeah, the food up here.
Yes. Okay. Nice, super sharp cheddar, and I'm a happy guy. All right. So here's our fisherman person.
Yeah, this is a little travel story. Right now, we're doing a campaign to highlight some of the stories about the people that work in the crabbing industry out here, which is kind of a it's a very can be a dangerous line of work, and it's
Yeah.
a very cool to just highlight these stories of the local people that are out there doing it.
Yeah. So you kind of need the was it the deadly catch up in
Deadliest catch
Alaska?
over the
So you need
coast.
the deadly catch Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Oh, is that gorgeous? I
Yeah,
have got to get on an airplane and get up there, drive.
really drive it. Yeah, take your time when you're here.
Oh, I would love to just take my time over a couple weeks and drive the coast. There's a puffin. All right.
Yeah,
I
we
think
have
that's a
puffins
puffin.
too. How cool is
Okay.
that?
Yeah. Very nice. So, and also, guests can sign up for the newsletter,
Yeah.
and you've got regions, things to do, places to stay.
Mhm.
I mean, there's so much to offer visitors here and have a wonderful experience. If you had some visitors coming over from Iceland, all those friends you made over there, it, you're going to plan a weekend, a long weekend with them. They're going to stay for well longer than a weekend, but if you had like a weekend, just let's just go have some fun. First off, I'm a foodie, so I love my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love my coffee. Where are you going to take them for breakfast if you had your way? And travel was no issue at all. Where are
Oh,
you going to take them?
breakfast. Mm, man. Well, I would start for breakfast. I live in a tiny little town called Wheeler with like
Okay.
less than 100 people in it.
Okay.
And I'll take them for breakfast at my local coffee shop before we hit the road
Okay.
for more of the slow travel day.
Okay. So
I
we're
don't
gonna
think
get
you're
you.
gonna find oh, the roost, it's right there. Yeah,
It's there.
there
See?
it
Look at
is.
that.
This is just the cutest little spot. I try and sit in the cafe and work from there one day a week just to change up my view a little bit. And then the
Wonderful.
Berry is also here in Wheeler, and it is all locally sourced food and just really innovative
Okay.
food right on the river. Has an incredible view.
Okay. Very
So
nice.
much good food right here.
Oh, yes. See, I think I could get lost in eating the food, so, uh, and I like the fact that you're doing your work in the coffee shop because I used to do that, but with yeah, that's a whole other story. We'd be that would be my therapy is like why I sit at a desk all day. Okay. So
And
where
if you
else are
want
we gonna go?
well, and then after that, you gotta hit Newport for lunch or dinner
Okay, so
at Local
let's
Ocean.
okay, Newport. I love this, the search engine here. So you said Newport. All
Mhm.
right, and we're not talking East Coast here. La Maison, Lucky Tie. Let's see. Yummy Bowl. Now, where were you going to take us?
Local Ocean. You keep hit that load more.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There it is.
Excellent.
Local Ocean Seafoods. This is
Ah,
our boat to table, our all local seafood and local sourced vegetables and stuff as well. And the food is amazing.
okay. Very nice. Okay. And how about dinner?
Oh, well, that was my dinner spot.
That
Let's
was
see.
your dinner. Okay, so light lunch. You got
Oh,
to have
wow.
a snack for lunch. Where are you going to? What's your? How about entertainment? I mean, just go watch the sunset with a beverage on the beach, or is there some great experiences that are available, music or other things happening up and along the coast?
See. From here down to Newport, it's a lot of really great views and hiking. Uh,
Okay.
and then past that as well, down in Florida, if travel time was not something to be concerned about, I'd want to take people to see the dunes as well. And
Okay.
there you can rent ATVs and get out really far into these like crazy landscapes.
Okay. See, that's what I'm all about. Taking, I'll have my camera with me. So very nice. You know something? I'm thinking if the roommate and the boyfriend go up there, I may just have to join them on this new next adventure because I can do coaching and my podcasting from anywhere. So that's good. Anything else on the website that you'd like to draw our attention to? You said you had a store, by the way.
Do you have a store that's right there by Request a Guide?
Request
It's in the white space to your right.
to my right. Oh, there we go. Oh, store. Yeah. It's always the last place you look.
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
So,
love to check that out.
okay. I was having a discovery call today and here's the URL for the website. I kept getting nowhere. So it could have been my connection, but yeah. So, all right. No worries. So, folks, there's a store, but you can
Yeah.
also request a guide and trip plan ahead. So, the inspiration guide, just give your name and email address, phone number, address. So, a nice physical guide you're going to get. Very nice. And subscribe to the People's Coast newsletter. I think this is wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, anywhere else you'd like to take us on the tour here, or should we go back to our conversation?
Well, at the top there, we have this Be Kind to the Coast drop down.
Okay.
And this is full of resources for people who want to know how they can give back when they stay. We have a program called Kind Traveler. So
Hmm.
people can check out which hotels are registered with Kind Traveler, and then a portion of their stay will be donated to one of our nonprofits.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's
And
also got some stewardship ideas and just ways that people can travel and lessen their impact when they're here.
excellent. Yeah, and I love the way destinations such as yours, I mean, if they really want to attract the visitors for experiences, whether it's a short stay, long stay, day trip, having this information available on the website and making it easy to navigate is key. And I love just the fact everything somebody would want if they want to come for a visit, it's right here. So this is great. Thank you. Thank you for this. I want to go back and just stop sharing. We are back. Miracle of technology. Thank you for that tour. I'm like, okay, I think I need to plan my next trip here. Before we head out today, there's a couple of features of the podcast that I like to introduce my guest to. One of those is the what I would call the aha moment. This is kind of when you look back and here's the job, here's my work. This is what I get to do for a living and the impact that it's making. What would be your aha moment?
That aha moment. Well, we get to work on so many cool projects, but one that really had a really immediate impact and aha moment was probably the work that I did around Mobi-mats. We mentioned those earlier, but those are those temporary waterproof pathways that let people with mobility issues get out to the beach. Um, so we actually pulled together funding and invited organizations all along the coast to apply for funding to purchase their own Moby mats for their cities or for their parks or beaches.
Mhm.
And we also created a toolkit to teach people about the permitting process and everything that they might need to know about how to install them and how to clean and maintain them, just to make that process more approachable.
Okay.
And so it came together really quick, and it was just so incredible to see how quickly those applications came in, and to even see a few of them get purchased and rolled out and announced that same summer.
Mhm.
It was just the community feedback for me is just so cool because you get to see people using them, people who haven't been on the beach in years and years, who are just so excited, and there's so much joy around it. So it's just been really cool to have a project that has such an immediate impact and is bettering the lives of our visitors and locals that get to use these every day.
Very nice. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. There's another question. It just dawned on me. The really the getting the community involved, and you've got so much experiences to be had. When it comes to the history and culture, how are visitors coming into the coastal area and kind of learning about, say, the history of Oregon, the coast, the settlers that came and the first peoples that were here before them? How are folks getting to learn about that part of the experience?
Great question. Yeah. There's so much history and culture here. The Oregon coast is home to historically and presently inhabited by several federally recognized tribes. We have the tribe of the Crews, Lower Umpqua, the Siuslaw Indians, the Siletz Indians, the Coquille tribe, and the tribe of the Grand Ronde. And we have a lot of exhibits up and down the coast that pay tribute to a lot of their culture and history. And there are also a lot of indigenous-led events that the public can come to. There are a lot of visitors that plan their entire trips around some annual events like the Yachats Peace Hike that happens on the Central Coast every New Year's. Um, and then we also work really closely with Oregon Black pioneers who pull together history of Black-owned businesses and just all of these stories of Black history on the Oregon coast. And we think that there's so much value in elevating these stories, and they have a lot of exhibits up and down the coast as well. So all that information is available on our website.
Okay, very nice. Before we head out, any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience? And could be a quote, a book, just or an experience, or what will be the call to action that you'd like to leave for our listeners?
Mhm. Um, I think I really just want to encourage people if they're traveling a trip here to think about the aspect of slow travel and getting to know these communities. Think about the forest, the rainforest when you walk through it, how everything is so deeply connected underground. Everything is working together. That's how all of our small communities are. We're really separated by the distance of the coast, but we come together through a lot of partnerships, through a love of local food, through really cool collaborative projects. So I just want people to kind of think about that really cool network that's behind everything when they visit here. Part of what makes
Excellent.
us resilient. Yeah.
Excellent. So if our listeners, I think I know what the answer to this is going to be. If our listeners would like to learn more about everything the Oregon coast has to offer, where are the best places to go?
Visit theoregoncoast.com. And then on Instagram, we are the People's Coast. And on Facebook, we're the People's Coast.
Okay, excellent. We'll provide, of course, the backlinks to the website, to the social sites. And I know you've already shared some photos with us. So we'll put some collages up on our webpage with uh, to incorporate those into the show notes. Lynnee, it's been a pleasure to have you on the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. And I'm gonna go downstairs and tell the roommate or boyfriend, okay, I'm coming with you because I wanna come see this part of the country. And it's you've made a great presentation and a compelling argument for why I should be coming to the Oregon coast. And for our visitors, it's there. I think if you've never been here, you gotta come. And I do have one question. It's kind of a gotcha question for you, Lynnee. My photo has blue sky. It's got some clouds in it. Your photo there has some blue sky. Um, how much blue sky am I actually gonna see when I come for a visit?
Oh, you got us there. Yeah. And it's not blue sky right now.
Okay, okay,
In the summer, most days, actually. So
okay,
in the shoulder season, you'll
okay.
have some good luck.
All
And
right.
when it's gray, it's beautiful.
I can imagine. No, some of our guests have described their destination as a four-season destination. Would you describe the Oregon coast and all the places from north to south, those 325 miles, 65 miles? Would you describe the experience for visitors as a four-season destination?
Well, in the summer, of course, you get long days and it's warm, so that's a lot more beach time. But in the shoulder seasons, there's still so much to do. There's a lot of great local food. You can still get out and hike because even if it's raining, usually when you're under like tree cover, you're not getting a lot of that mist. So you're very well protected in these forested areas. You can still come out here and cycle most of the year. And then in the dead of winter, when it's coldest and rainiest, this is still a really great place to just come out if you're seeking some solitude and quiet. So there's something
Mm.
for everybody all year.
You have totally sold me. I thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, again, thank you for joining us today and spending time and sharing about the Oregon Coast Visitors Association and the great work you're doing up and down the coast to really make the experience of coming in for a visit so much grander. And I definitely, I've committed. I'm going to commit online for all my 2,500, 3,000 listeners. I'm gonna do some episodes up in the Oregon Coast area. So thank you for your time. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we can't wait to have you up here.
All right. I want to get some of that smoked salmon, and I do commit. If I get there, I will bring the bagels. Trust me on that. All right.
Great.
Listen, stay in the line. We're going to do a quick close, and you and I can have a final chat. Okay.
Right. Thanks.
All right. Okay, folks, we have just been chatting with Lynnee Jacks. She is an industry communications coordinator for the Oregon Coast Visitors Association. I tell you, if you've never been to Oregon, you got to put it on your to-do list. Not even a bucket list. You got to make plans to do it. It's been fascinating to hear Lynnee share about this region, these 360 some miles of coast and all that it has to offer, whether it's outdoor adventures, whether it's good food, and or just rejuvenation, relaxation, and of course, you have the history. And hope you put this on your to-do list. Now, visit their website. Lots of great information there. Visit theoregoncoast.com, and we're going to provide a backlink to it as well as to the social sites on Facebook, Instagram, and the other social sites. As for us, you'll be able to find this episode on our website, outdooradventureseries.com. We are also on LinkedIn and Facebook on our Outdoor Adventure Series pages. The video of this episode, along with Lynnee's touring of her website, their website, we will have that up on our YouTube channel. And of course, wherever you listen to your podcast, just search for Outdoor Adventure Series and you will find this episode and our entire podcast library. And of course, on our website, we're also going to have some collages of some of the photos. And I know there's some iconic photos that Lynnee has shared with us, and we'll have those as a part of the collages as well. Okay, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there and have a phenomenal day. And we look forward to having you join us on a future episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care.